The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to Glenn in Massachusetts. Hey, Glenn, what's going on?
You know what is good for us is Tom O'Brien providing an unbiased source of information for us investors. You don't have an agenda. It's just to cut through everything and to give us the facts. I want to thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Assume nothing. In any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think. And we don't have to say what we want. We assume that they are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we want, we feel hurt and think, how could you do that? You should know. Bottom line, folks, get rid of the grayness. Keep it black and white. A lot easier. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow down 1, NASDAQ off 14, S&P's off $1.50. A gold contract up $2.40, trading at $1,429 an ounce. Silver up 44 cents at $36.10. Copper down 14 pennies at $4.20 a pound. Light sweet crude off 67 cents, trading at $105.28. Bonds up 26 ticks, trading at $119.10. Dollar index down 9 ticks at 76.71. Euro up 1 tick at 139.06. Yen up 3 ticks at 82.70. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, what do you have? You have a sideways market. You do $871 million out here versus the $1 billion versus you're trying to get into the 22nd, folks, which the 22nd was out there with $1.3 billion. That's your S&P. We go over to the Dow Industrial, same type of setup in the Dow, and what you actually have here is that the Dow is down 1, but the Dow is trying to get into those highs with $870 million, not even close. If you go look at March 3rd, we had 1 billion shares. It couldn't handle that. Bottom line, it couldn't even handle a billion. Got over them, closed underneath them. That's saying you want to go back downtown. That's your Dow. The composite, NASDAQ composite. Composite, sideways move too. You're down 14, but that's still a sideways move. Composite, what we did have, you had a expansion out there. We did 1.993 billion versus the 1.855. What you are going to need as you are pushing into these lows, you're going to need more volume coming into those lows. We go and we take a look at the SPY. What we did with the SPY out here, sideways move, did 150 million shares, down 19 cents. You look at the 4Qs, what we did with the 4Qs, same deal. You're down 39 cents. You know, we got to a low of 56.72. You did 79 million. Last time we were down there at the 56.67, you did 198 million. So no real conviction move out here today. No two ways about that. We go over to the gold contract. What we did with gold out here, price spread out here today was from 14.23 to 14.36. We did 113,000 contracts, also a sideways move. The bond market. We take a look at bonds out here. What we did with bonds went topside with 321,000 contracts. Now, this is going to get really interesting with bonds. Why? Because what you had yesterday is that you pulled back with 276,000. It rejected that lower price. What you have here, folks, is that you had come off the bottom on the 9th of February. That bottom there was 115 in the bond market. The 30-year I'm talking now, 115.07. So now the bonds want to run to the 120.26. If they take that out, you're going to see 125 pretty quickly. Dollar index. We take a look at the dollar index. What the dollar index has done is this. She backed down today into the 76.54 mark. Rejected that. You're at 76.71. Looks to me that not only you're going to get back inside the 77 mark, but what you have here is that when she broke out of that small Dow trend from the 70 890 mark going all the way back to February 14th. She wants to climb up into that area. Now, we'll see how it basically tries to get up into that area. We don't take a look at good old Apple. Why Apple? Because we know Apple still rocks the NASDAQ, no doubt. Apple had a sideways move out here. 16 million shares traded. What you did with Apple, Apple closed at 352.47. Apple also is going to need more volume if she wants to get to lower prices. She doesn't have the top side volume. Right now, she doesn't have the bottom side volume also. FNSR. Now, these fiber optic equities you talk about getting toasted, they got roasted. We were talking about them last night after the close, but there was no shot for anyone to get out of them. There's no two ways about that. FNSR had closed out yesterday at $40.04. It opened up this morning at 25, closed out at 24.61. Monster volume on the way down. You get a gap away. We did 40 million shares. That's going to be, bottom line, a destroyed stock. You'll see that come all the way back down into that 1709. Don't touch that baby, folks. You get a gap away like that. Remember something. Gap aways on the way down do not have to get filled, period. You know, we'll see whether she can get any juice to get up there, but they do not have to get filled. If you go look at any of the old high flyers in the NASDAQ, what you'll see is that there's gaps up there, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 in some stocks. They did do a reverse stock split, so now it looks like they're at 140, 130, and they're trading at $10. Well, bottom line, when they gap down, they don't have to get filled. We're going to take a look at JDSU. Now, this is one you are going to want to keep your eye on. JDSU, what does it do? It is into the gap now. We're at 21.14. Don't touch this one yet either, okay? Big volume on the way down, but what you have, this is what the difference is. The difference is with JDSU is that we do have volume at the high at 29.12, which is a beautiful thing. Now you're down at the 21.14 area, and that little baby is going to go fill that gap. The bottom of that gap is 21.03. You got the 21.06, and that's a classic, folks. That the top of the gap is support first. It'll mess around here a little, blow into the gap, and how we get into that 1750 is going to be absolutely crucial. But you can see down at those areas of 1750 with a top side of $29 and a stop on the other side of $16. Oh, baby, that is one beautiful deal. Now, folks, let's go over to our man, Mr. David White, our technology expert at TFNN. And don't forget, folks, David kicks off TFNN Monday through Friday. He has his own show at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 to 10. Of course, you've heard of my show many times. On Friday afternoon, we get that technology special. David White, what's going on?
Well, I guess we're going to be launching something new here.
That's a beautiful thing. We got our man, Mr. David White. So what we're going to be launching. Tell us about your new newsletter, David, that's going to be coming out next week for Test Drive.
We're going to be doing a new newsletter. It's going to be modeled on the gold report for investment type cycles, not intraday trading or trading swings, based on basically big changes in societal evolution, changes in technology, things where people, if they have an IRA and they want to park some money in these things and let them grow out there for a long time, these are going to be companies that we've been talking a little bit about, innovation, and basically
Yes.
We're looking for the next Apples and IBMs, these companies that can really grow over the next 2 or 3 years. People can really put their money in, and I think we've got that kind of cycle started here. Every bull market starts with an advertisement, according to Jesse Livermore, and I think we've just seen the end of this first cycle. It reminds me a lot of, I think on the show in about 2001, you had Drury, the gold stock, and it went from like $1 to $7.
Yeah, 2001. That's right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that was the flare that let us know that was the bull market had come back in gold.
Yeah.
And we may see a few of these like that go sideways for a while, but it's letting us know that the bull market in technology is back, and we're going to really work on technology stocks out there that have the ability almost to print money when they're doing the right thing.
You know, it's amazing, too, David and folks, is that, I had turned in my BlackBerry a while ago, and I got an Evo, and of course, that's, it's one of the HTC phones, but it's also the Droid software, and it's absolutely incredible. Bottom line is that what happened today, folks, is that the Android operating system actually overtook the BlackBerry operating system factually. So you can see. And what's interesting, David, is that they're saying Samsung is the biggest hardwired equipment operator, 25%. So it's going to get, you can see that these things are changing very rapidly, man. And, there's nothing like open architecture.
There isn't. I think that's the problem with Apple, is it looks like they're making the same mistakes that they made back in the 80s. Even Wozniak said that we're going to have a better product and have smaller market share. And I think he got in trouble for that last fall. But you see these moves and these innovators, and they do follow a predictable path. We're going to be doing more than just the newsletter. We're going to be doing Friday afternoons and having a technology segment on your radio show. We've already been discussing or talking between ourselves, but we're going to bring in a lot more guests. And hopefully this Friday we've got someone scheduled on who's probably the foremost expert in innovation in the technical field.
Nice. Now, the newsletter is going to be called Inside Technology, right?
It sure is, and we're going to cover sectors that are going to have systemic growth, the organic growth. There's a big reason it's going to last a while. We're going to put the preposition down on why it does, and I guess this all kind of started when before MCP came out. I did I think about 45 minutes one day just on why people wanted to be in rare earth minerals, and make the case on it before MCP even came out.
Yes.
Now, you can't guarantee that a stock like that's going to take off, but what you do is you get on the railroad tracks, and if that locomotive's moving down, generally you're going to get hit. And that was a fairly easy one to point out. We've got some other stocks like that may not have the same bang and get everybody all hot and bothered so quickly, but I think these are going to be stocks that when you put them in, you're going to see the reason why those stocks become big stocks later on in 6 months or a year, and probably you'll start moving up fairly rapidly after this pullback.
Yeah, well, it's so sweet that you're getting this pullback right now, too, isn't it? No doubt.
Well, you got to wait for them. It's no different than gold. These things are going to take long-term cycles, and you should be able to do well on them. But you do have to wait for them to. Even if you're investing, you got to wait for these things to pull back and be in the right spot, give the right signals so that you can sleep at night.
No doubt. Listen, folks, don't forget, David kicks off TFNN Monday through Friday, 9 to 10 o'clock. You can go right to the website. You can get it live. You can get it on iTunes. Now, what you can also do, folks, for the live radio show, you can do this. What's going on now, you can do this 24 hours a day, folks, okay? We just brought this up today. It's still in beta, but the bottom line, you can bring it up on any cell phone you want right now. If you go to tfnn.mobi, no tfnn.com, just tfnn.mobi, you'll see listen live, you hit that button, and you're off to the races. And listen, folks, coming next week, you're going to be able to test drive David's newsletter free. You just come on our site, you'll hit the button, and you can test drive that baby. David, you have a great night, safe night. We look forward to the show tomorrow.
See ya.
We're coming right back, folks.